I'm gonna let it.
They didn't care.
Let's see here. Finish doing all the notification stuff.
By 22 points. 22 points is a blowout. Donald Trump
and once
barely
it's done,
won some of those states by
then
22
I'll go
points. He was going up against a lady who wrapped her arms around China.
Or load the game.
And he was the presumptive nominee. I'm just saying, that's incredible for them to do it in the full view of the public.
Looks
and say, it doesn't matter.
Skylines Place still hasn't updated
the
his.
Person that we want. Period. Same thing's happening right now. Also, Kamala likes to do it in full view. People like to. Yep.
Still hasn't opened up the or fixed his mod. Sorry.
Using hand.
Anyway, I'm listening to Stephen Crowder in the background. If you're curious.
Another example. I guess we're on the fourth one. Hunter Biden laptop. This is another example how the left has cheated the American people. They cheat by doing away with rules, by not following the rules, by subverting democracy, or simply by using their power to lie to you till the democratic process is. October 14, 2020. New York Post reported.
As you already know, the strategy is to stay in the first 9 blocks, 9 tiles of the game, of the map, and only expand out with service buildings until it maxes out.
And his dad, and
hopefully in the hopes that it'll
hands for favors with foreign entities.
Keep the game running at a reasonable rate.
One's in charge of investigating
because this game's still got 1,001 issues.
In case you've forgotten, Rudy Giuliani showed the laptop right here on this show for the first time live. Have you seen the pictures? Have you seen the pictures of him with the crack pipe? Oh, wow. Does he at least look, like, cool?
Fortunately, I can't show it to you right now, but this is the hard drive they're on.
Oh, my word. And I had just a small monitor. I remember thinking, that's not... At this point, it was this mythical... that's the actual laptop. Now, 5 days later, 51 former intelligence officials signed a statement saying that the laptop was Russian disinformation. So let me ask you this. Are they idiots? Or are they lying? Now, I would argue, considering that Rudy Giuliani on that same show said, they can come and take the laptop. Somebody. It's available to them. They raided his office and took everything but the laptop. Why they told you, the public, that it was Russian disinformation? They at the very least could have verified. Completely buried on social media. This to me is a huge cheat.
Yeah, because it's not even just the 51 people that signed that. It's this came out in the Twitter files that they did.
Yeah,
basically saying that the United States government was reaching out. The White House was reaching out to tech companies saying, "Hey, be prepared. There's Russian disinformation coming. Be on guard. Be vigilant for us. Make sure that you do this." And
basically, it wasn't the White House. It was the intelligence committees.
No, all of them. They had emails from the White House. They had emails from the intelligence communities. They had the entire administration, almost top to bottom, basically reaching out saying, "Hey, be prepared for this." Knowing that the Hunter Biden laptop was the thing, they had it. They knew about it at the time. So that when it happened, they could say, "See, that's what we told you was going to happen." Now, remember, that's disinformation. It'd be a shame if you lost Section 230. I mean, I'm kind of inferring the last part, but you don't have to make the threat.
Right.
Do the government.
And the government and the three-letter agencies said, social media, you need to bury this. And that's why they released this official report from intelligence officials or former intelligence officials. They have a little bit more distance. Say, right, this is clearly Russian disinformation. Right? Outlets out there didn't report on it at all, like NPR. I wonder why. Of course, when I say government funded, here's why that matters. That affects the democratic process because 17% of Biden voters themselves would have changed their votes if they'd known about the laptop. We've already done the math. That makes it a landslide walk-off for Donald. Now, in January 2024, well, the DOJ confirmed it's true.
Yeah, better late than never.
Sorry, laptop's true. It's real. Do you mean that you finally did this? Oh! Oh, wow! That is his penis!
Yeah,
this is his laptop. You actually believe that they didn't know until this year they weren't able to confirm it? They did that in order to prevent you from voting on the relevant information. Because at that point, they wanted to install Joe Biden.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, Don Brazil, just to kind of come back to that, 2016, she gave questions.
She did to Hillary.
Yeah, that's right, to Hillary. And by the way, one other point, Hunter Biden actually sued Fox News for releasing those images from the laptop, thus, again, additionally confirming it before the FBI, I think. And just dropped the lawsuit, I think, in the last couple of days.
because it's not hacking, it's no longer your property. If you give it to somebody and don't pick it back up,
It becomes their property.
I don't even think it was password protected.
It was cocaine.
Yes.
Okay.
You had to do online. That was
Yeah.
Hello, Hunter. How can I?
Your self-respect will self-destruct. I don't know why they did that mission impossible. Look at a break. Alright.
Easy.
Here's the fifth example. All these references are available. I'm just walking through examples as to how they have cheated so that you know if they're going to cheat again. It is their way.
It's their MO.
I'm not saying that Republicans don't cheat. I'm not saying that Republicans don't bend rules. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the Democratic Party is based on cheating. It's based on not respecting rules. It is based on party absolutely first, the will of the people. I don't even want to say second. Irrelevant. And I mean that. Irrelevant. You want to drive an SUV? No. You want to ensure that your vote counts? No. You want your borders to be protected? No. You want to run a bit? No. You want to go out and buy something from your local shop during COVID? No. You want Donald Trump to be president? No. You want Bernie Sanders to? No. You don't get to choose anything in the party. Ever.
Except abortion.
That's true. Then it's your choice.
You can't choose life, though.
Yeah.
You have to choose abortion.
And that's completely congruent because they love controlling other people's decisions, and in that case, you're controlling another life because you don't have 20 fingers, 20 toes, 2 hearts, and 2 brains. So here's the fifth example. Actually changing voting laws illegally. Did this in Pennsylvania, 2019. Pennsylvania passed Act 77 to allow mass mail-in voting, expanding a bunch of voting parameters, and the Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf said, you may now vote by mail-in ballot unless you qualify as an absentee voter, in which case you must vote by absentee. If you want to vote by mail, you must apply for a mail-in ballot. You do not need to provide a reason or excuse if you want to use a mail-in ballot, which of course was not the reason prior to that. You needed to have a reason or you vote in person.
In the Constitution of the state Constitution, it basically laid out the reasons that you did it. Not wanting to get outside is not one of the reasons.
No.
Not wanting to just stay home. Also, ballot harvesting in line. Yeah, that's also not a reason. The vast majority of people in Pennsylvania did this. I think it was like 2.6 million people did it. Only 600,000. I mean, just a little bit off, but there's only 600,000 Republicans. It was primarily the Democrats for people vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
More people say, hey, well, there's no such thing as people voting without ID. Really? Then why is it a ballot initiative? A ballot initiative in the next election. I believe in Nevada, several states require ID to vote.
What about people who voted against it just recently, basically
Yes.
requiring somebody to be proved, not just say, check a box,
Yes.
prove that they're a U.S.
What's racist? It's racist to require it. So, Pennsylvania court even ruled that that act violated the state constitution. Period. Just bring up the overlay. I don't even necessarily need to read it. You guys can go and see that this was ruled a violation of the state constitution. But then it went to a Supreme Court who overturned a lower court saying that it didn't need to be amended. So, yeah, we can probably have universal mail-in voting. And, of course, that's still in dispute. We really should expect nothing less from the party that insists these are women. Yeah.
You gotta wear longer dresses, guys.
You don't even get to choose
Well, they're bottomless.
the gender you're attracted to. They just change the gender
It's disgusting.
and then steal your luggage.
Did they get fired day one from Trump? Does Trump go after and say, look, if you're confused about what you are, you can't. You bye-bye.
I think Trump's
Can
on
you do that?
fire now. Luggage.
Yeah.
The
You should
luggage,
watch-
yeah.
Look, listen.
Luggage is our shitty.
I'm a
law, right?
benevolent man, but I'm going to fire anybody. And you know what? I've thought about this long and hard. They told me you have to fire people who've been convicted of stealing luggage. I said, I won't do that. They said, at least if they've stolen luggage 2 times. I said, no. They said, how about 3 or 4 times? I said, if they've stolen luggage 4 times, then they gotta go. There's no one here. Oh, you.
That person's still in office? I thought
No,
they
no,
for
no,
sure
no.
they were seen were
Oh no,
jail
that
or-
was distance,
They had to go to airport jail for a little while, right?
like nuclear something. Not an important gig.
No, I know.
Also, the guy getting railed in the Senate chamber is gone too, thankfully.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Not Eric Swalwell, who was banging Chinese spies. And your buddy Aaron Sorkin thinks that he should be secretary of defense.
Why is
He was getting
my
railroaded,
buddy?
if you know what I mean.
My buddy?
Yes,
Come on.
yes, he was.
just because you.
I've been working on the floor, well, already from the day.
I thought it was hilarious. By the way, when they announced that Joe Biden, when he did that, like 20 minutes later, the CNNC team is scrambling because it's 1 o'clock, or no, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time. Nobody good is in studio, and they're like, who can we call? Eric Swalwell picks up the phone. Yes, it's a video on Trump.
Oh, hello? Sorry.
You gotta be kidding me. Yes. This is taking off the blindfolds.
But by the way, Deputy Assistant Secretary for the Office of Nuclear Energy has been out since December of 22. Sam Brinton.
Yes.
Whenever that came out,
I know.
You know, has a bit of an eye for luggage.
I just like to think of it.
It'd be better. Bring him back.
If Sam Brinton walked in, he's
fired.
Oh, that's gross.
Ew. It's got Halloween.
Thank you for the follow.
It's a cover.
Koyum18.
100% of the proceeds from the Fight Like Hell shirt with Donald Trump, the special edition, go to the Trump campaign. Go to
We got some
CrowderShop.com.
power issues.
CrowderShop.com, and there you go. That's get a shirt and also support us out.
Yeah, we're happy. Promo code.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a promo code.
Yeah, it's on the thing. By the way, it's Trump approved.
Oh, that's right.
I think
That's true.
pointed at me.
President Trump liked it.
Give me a thumbs up. Smile.
I would have taken that a different way, Gerald. You're a very humble man. I would have taken that as he approved of you.
I thought it was the shirt.
You didn't take it personally.
He
You
looked
took
at
it.
me. He looked at me. I frowned, and then I pointed at my shirt. And
I see.
yeah,
I see.
upside down,
I
so.
see.
Yeah. He said, "How'd they let a Nazi up front? The optics are the shirt's good though. The shirt's good. I like the shirt. I hate the Hitler Youth haircut."
Hitler, you're more like Hitler age.
Hey,
Sorry.
Hey.
Sorry.
So what is going to happen? Well, people can speculate. Yeah, obviously Kamala Harris, but Kamala is funnier, is now the favorite. Former Vice President Biden endorsed. I'm going to keep saying Kamala Harris on X, saying, "Today I want to offer an endorsement for Kamala, the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this." That's basically saying it's time to come together because you couldn't with me. So now maybe she can beat Trump.
Right.
Even though I beat her. And she's been endorsed by Bill, Hillary Clinton, Gavin Newsom, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, Pete Buttigieg. So,
That's a great idea.
Why not in his letter dropping out of the campaign? Why not? It's very strange that the thing that is probably going to be picked up by the media the most and spread the widest in everybody's.
not as white as Kamala, right?
But
We have to be careful of the verbiage to use now, I guess. Why not endorse her there?
I think
So
because
much of this behind the scenes. By the way, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Just the signature stuff that people are talking about is very weird.
It is weird.
It's a little. I'm just saying it's weird. That's it. I'm going to move on from there. You can talk to Alex Jones later, and he'll tell you all about it. But I think it's super strange to me that he didn't, in that letter, immediately pivot, and now we are all supporting Kamala Harris. It seems like
it makes sense to me.
kind of. No, it doesn't.
Because that letter's going to go down in history.
Exactly.
And if Kamala ends up not being their nominee, then you don't want that mixed up with legacy and history and stuff. I don't think he wrote the letter, Gerald.
See, that's
I don't think he did either.
I think this is optics. I think they took a few days to write this.
It's like
and
one
I
of
think
those
they realized, don't endorse Kamala. Thank her for being the vice president and for opening up her offices,
whatever.
The role that I
And I
think,
think, I think you leave that legacy for him.
Yeah.
Yada yada.
I think the role he played in typing up that tweet, someone grabbing his head for Face ID was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Korean already has the access. We already know.
So, and look, according to the campaign, here's a reason why it's likely Kamala, because only Kamala can take Biden's $1 million war chest, right? They can't just send it to a candidate. But again, if you think that Democrats follow the rules, also she could be a vice presidential candidate again. Someone could say, she could be VP again. She didn't get a full 8 years as VP, gained some experience. Someone else could be at the top of the ticket, and I believe there would be a way for the money to still follow her. True. That being said, here's one thing I want to say. I'm really glad to see that Donald Trump was ready for Kamala. It shows that he was. I do know some people are saying, don't worry about Kamala. She couldn't even win a primary in her state. Hold on a second. There are about 10 Democrats in that primary. I think there was Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, Pete Buttigieg, Tulsi. So, that's a very different dynamic. Kamala Harris wasn't necessarily a favorite or a darling in the media. She was going up against her party, and the media at that point was still trying to see who they should support. In this scenario, Kamala Harris has the entire support of the Democratic Party. And Donald Trump is not debating Kamala Harris. Donald Trump is debating the entire Democratic Party and, of course, the media. And anything that they can bury, they will. You think Hunter Biden's laptop being buried was bad? They will never discuss history in San Francisco, her history of keeping largely black prisoners beyond their sentences so she could use them effectively as cheap labor. You will not hear about her sleeping her way to the top, which, by the way, is documented. It's not kind of in question, it's documented. She slept with Willie Brown. They're like, hey, Kamala recently was like, I sleep with lots of bitches. He pretty much said, he's like, I don't know, sounds like me. And
it was a side piece for Montel, or she was a side piece.
Yes.
I misgendered you.
All of that is going to go away. So the fact that she could not win a primary is not the same as the dynamic between Kamala Harris and President Trump. Just please don't be complacent. Make this gap so wide that they can't overcome it by cheating. Here's what's really inspiring, I would say, or I should say, instills confidence. President Trump saw this coming a mile away. Again, in contrast to the experts, and he actually, well, let's run this first, the clip Kamala attacking. He actually had this ad ready to go immediately upon the announcement.
She covered Joe's obvious. The president is in good shape, in good health, tireless, vibrant, and I have no doubt about the work that we have done. Joe couldn't do it, so she did it. Look what she had done. Vision. Dream dead. Needed this mess. This failed. America great again.
And just like with Donald Trump, where everything they've tried to use against him somehow gets jujitsu'd back onto them, he's a criminal, and people say, actually, he's kind of a badass. They say, hey, look, he has no political experience. People say, actually, well, he's kind of an outsider. They say he's a prick. People go, I actually kind of like that he doesn't speak like a politician. They tried to use this to attack him, where he was saying off the cuff immediately after the debate that he knew Biden was done and that it was going to be Kamala and she was pathetic. They tried to use this against him, but now it helps.
He just got all broken up by the crowd. Yes. But he just quit, he's quitting.
And you know what I love now that Donald Trump has definitely done? At one point in time, Donald Trump said, she's so bad, she's so fucking bad. We would have had a bunch of evangelical Christians, which, by the way, I am going, I can't vote for a man that crude, but now we understand you have a woman who supports abortion up until and including and perhaps after period. So you know what? The fact that he used some naughty words, I don't really care. They're trying to destroy the constitutional republic, and you need to keep it. What are they going to do now? How are they going to cheat? Well, same thing that you've seen before, right? Trying to change voting laws. Of course, they're going to bury stories. The media is going to run interference. You're going to see interference from big tech. And no small issue here. They've already tipped their hand. The defenses are going right up. Oh, if you have a problem with Kamala, racism, it's both!
Look how it went. You want her running the economy. You want her running national security. Then other issues about San Francisco. And look, let's just be honest about it. You can be certain that racism, sexism, if not directly through the Trump campaign, from other forces, come flying into this campaign.
Yeah, that's really got me heard that. Good job.
Obviously, really sexist was also just like they're just kind of rightfully we don't know why they're just.
Oh no, we know why.
That's fair, actually.
Familiar.
Yeah, these are the same people who say Donald Trump is just unlikable. But now if a woman is unlikable, it's sex.
You're a sexist pig. You hate him,
Yeah.
Yeah, you hate him. Just have one.
Yeah. Yep.
Black people don't like Kamala Harris.
No, I'm going to get to that. Some numbers are actually pretty funny. So, first off, Kamala has her own team. They're trying to use the race right here already in pushing her nomination. It says, Ms. Harris's team has briefed that they would forcefully object if a white candidate was promoted over her head, ignoring her position as the first ever black woman to be sworn in as vice president. Here's the reason that
Not having first slept with him. Sorry.
Yes,
there was we truncated the quote.
yeah, well, that's
So.
generally implied. But to be clear, never called Hillary Clinton. But never called her. Kamala, because she started her career as a whore. Hope I've clarified my thoughts. Now,
What about saying whore? She was a whore
I was
in
saying
the beginning.
using sex for,
Now,
yes, for financial or political gain.
yes, the legs were spread.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And got the job
right.
because of the whoredom. Yes. Now, she doesn't do well with black voters. We have some black women. But she doesn't do really well with black voters because she's so fake and because of how she treated a lot of people in California as an attorney. Because of what she did with marijuana. Not lost on me that many of them were multiple-time offenders. There were some nonviolent marijuana offenders. She did put prisoners in jail for longer than their sentence to basically use them as cheap labor. She does come across as somebody who's disingenuous when she said that she listened to Tupac and Biggie back in junior high or high school before they were even around. And people are saying, well, she'll also appeal to one of the biggest voting bases, growing in the country, Indian Americans. Okay, but here's what I understand. Indian Americans are often quite racist in comparison to guilty white Democrats. Right? They're like, no, not maybe, but black. He's black. I don't trust because they're not bad, but they steal.
That's why she identifies as a black woman, because she knows
Until
if she identifies as any woman, they'll be like, no.
If they're trying to sell her as Indian, what's just going to happen? Just roll that clip of her dancing with those kids.
Oh, yeah.
No, we don't move hips like that. That is not us. That is black. We don't like. Don't hate, but we don't like. Have you been around? Look, anyone out there, if you were raised in traditional Indian families here in the United States, help me out. They're definitely more racist than white Americans. People don't necessarily understand that. Indians are racist against other Indians.
They are.
Yeah. And typically, kind of misogynist.
A little bit.
Sometimes. Can be some
A
great people.
little bit.
Great people.
Great people.
But
Compared to Americans.
sometimes they can be a little walk behind me,
And what's crazy, though, is Kamala Harris actually loses to Trump worse than Biden in Georgia. So in Georgia, if you look at the RCP average, I believe one of the polls there recently had her losing to Trump by 10 points. And there was another one with Biden where Donald Trump was beating Biden by 8 points. So a wider gap in what is the most black, I believe the highest percentage of black Americans in the Union. Think about that. Kamala Harris does worse than Biden in Pennsylvania. Now, of course, we can't rely on these polls because these were conducted before people actually knew that she was the nominee and they will be pushing her hard. But Donald Trump still beats Kamala Harris. The interesting dynamic to me here is the states that you would think, all right, she might win some more votes because there's a significant portion of black voters.
Right, yeah.
She actually loses worse. Yeah. There are other ways, by the way, that Democrats could choose their leader.
I saw a poll that showed that Rachel Dolezal pulled up.
Yes.
And Kamala Harris.
Yes.
The black voters.
No, that was an
They were like, hey,
OnlyFans.
she's taking it, but at least she cares. We know she cares.
That was an OnlyFans questionnaire, and by the way, they now have your cookies.
Ah, yeah, they got a lot more
They
than
have
that.
all of this. I saw a poll, and Kamala was on it.
That's accurate. That is accurate.
It's a stripper poll.
Yeah. So the ways they could also change this is, they could select a nominee before the convention. They could do a virtual roll call. It could be August. No candidate receives any delegates. It could be an open convention. That means the delegates would choose in late August, not early August, and the candidate has to get 300 delegate signatures to be on the ballot. It's a whole thing, and super delegates can only vote in a second ballot. The truth is, the Democrat system, as we have laid out, is created so that your vote doesn't really matter. They're going to choose who they want, and when they say, "Hey, for the greater good of the party and country," they don't mean country. They mean the party. Joe Biden was forced out because he was so bad, and this also goes to the issue of. And I know Kamala. Here, I know it's Kamala is going to be speaking in 10 minutes, so we'll be fact-checking it live. This goes to the issue of accountability. If you vote for a guy, assuming that enough Americans, if you vote for a guy, and then his policies are so bad that he's going to lose, you get to switch out midway through the race. There needs to be accountability for your policy. That's part of our systems of checks and balances, right? You vote. That's why we have terms, because at the end of the term, report card. Why is it that we all go through life? In school with report cards. At work with performance assessments. But for some reason, just with the most important election of our lifetime, hey, the report card is bad, so we're going to wipe it out and bring someone in who has no. This is a referendum on Democrat policies. There's one thing that is constant, and I mean it, that dishonesty happens, sure. Are there some honest people? Yes. Bending the rules happens a lot, sure. Subverting democracy? Yes. Doesn't necessarily happen all the time. One thing that is a guarantee, is the left in this country, and I don't just mean the DNC, I mean the ruling science, the expert science class during COVID, and yes, the
Ursula Easton.
never take care. Ever. Let's just walk through it really quickly. LGBTQAIP. Oh, turns out puberty blockers are not completely reversible. Turns out the suicide rate does improve. Turns out it's kind of harmful and we shouldn't be allowing children to transition. Doesn't stop those in the radical left from saying, nope, we have to do it anyway. Right? Let's look at COVID. Oh, turns out lockdowns don't work. Turns out that masks don't work the way that we thought it did. And turns out the mRNA injection is actually the best thing for particularly men under the age of 30 as it relates to complications like myocarditis. Oh, no, we're not going to take accountability for that. Turns out that ivermectin is actually something that has been used. It's not just horse dewormer, but has been effective. And now they're actually using it and saying, hey, it turns out it's kind of, no, we don't even hold no accountability for that. They're shut down forever. Well, that was just what happened during the virus. There's nothing we can do about that. Turns out that green policy actually does raise the price of not only gas, but all goods and services. Record inflation. Well, that's just what we had to do at that point in time. Actually, this is better than the economy was before. No, they don't have to take accountability for that. Hey, hold on a second. Your party elected a guy, Joe Biden, who sucks, and the American people aren't going to vote for him again. I know you think that maybe we would just have to kind of take this one on the chin, but we're going to take someone and install them who's received no votes from the American public. They will do whatever it takes to avoid accountability. And they'll tell you that that's what Donald Trump is doing.
And this is also the party. Just understand the time. The party that knew about this problem and decided that there was not going to be a primary. There were people like Joe Manchin, there were people like RFK who were trying to break in and to have a primary. They were trying to have some kind of system going, hey guys, listen, the house is on fire. We can't put this guy up again. And the media lied, and the administration lied, and everybody around Joe Biden lied and acted as recently as this month's gone, even just yesterday, saying Joe Biden was fine, that he's sharp, that he's mentally fit. I love that Joe Scarborough's on the record back in March. I love that he's on the record saying this is the most fit and sharp he has ever seen him in his entire life. That guy is an absolute clown.
He's a tool.
Don't just say, okay, well, a candidate can back out of a race whenever they want. I think that's true. That's not what's happening here. This was absolutely sealed, locked down Joe Biden. They never, ever had any intention, in my opinion, of him being the candidate ever. They knew the cognitive decline was so bad. I don't think they knew that he would perform as badly in that first debate. Why would they move that debate up so far, though? Why would they pull it so far up to give themselves just a little bit more time to make the case, Joe, you got to step aside, it's in the best interest of the party, look what you did during the debate. There's so many of these things that I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but at this point, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit here. They never wanted this guy to be the candidate. They've been lying to the public ever since. That's why it's that. That is why it's a coup. They never intended for him to be the president, ever.
Right. And I think Donald Trump would be well served if he would be debated. Make sure it happens out. At any point she says, well, I'm not used to this as a woman of color. You should say, what was that? Are you saying that how dare you? You're saying that I'm criticizing 11.5 million people crossing the border. You think Americans have a problem with that because you're a woman of color? Is it? You want to call those people racist? That's what he should do. Yeah. I'm criticizing you. I know plenty of women of color. They're good. You're not. That's what he should just make it something happen, and then it's removed because she'll be afraid to use it again.
Yeah.
If she's embarrassed for using it, she will be afraid to use it again. Speaking of completely avoiding accountability, right now we have this Secret Service testifying in the Trump
We do.
assassination attempt. And think about this for a second. They blamed the local PD. The local PD said it wasn't their responsibility. They said that it was textbook perfect. And then they finally had the excuse that, well, we have to secure a roof 130-something yards away. If it's slightly sloped, hey, how about some accountability? Someone just needs to say, I suck at my job.
Yeah, by the way, I wrote this quote down because I looked down and I saw this was probably 10, 15 years ago. Rangefinders are not prohibited at rallies. Now look, I understand that there are a lot of items. I just went through security, right? I just went through all of this.
Bring a rangefinder with you, did it?
Exactly. I understand it's inconvenient sometimes. You're like, you can't have this, you can't have that. It's like, oh, what do you have there? Well, a rangefinder. Seems perfectly normal. What's that? It's a wind gauge. What's that? I know it looks like a rifle. It's not a rifle. But it's not a rifle. Like,
That's
at
my
some
guitar.
point, like, what in the world are you talking about? I understand that we have things in this country, but making sure that you don't have a range finder at a rally is probably a good idea, or at least that puts you on the, hey, I'm going to know where you are from now on until this rally is over list. Yeah. If you have a range finder. Right, what is this guy going out to shoot quail, or is he going to play 9 holes? There's nothing going on here good.
Well, I know, and please, you guys can hit the like button if you want to stay with Kamala's speech here in live fact check. Do we have a reel here? I'm going to use the restroom really quickly before Kamala because she tends to be long-winded. Do we have a reel for the election night? Election live stream of the century? And I'll say, okay, if they grab it. Otherwise, you want to go live to this?
Yeah. Let's see what they're saying.
Because I don't know if I'm still a human being.
Yeah, go pee. Go pee.
Tinkle because I want to be ready for Kamala.
Go tinkle. You can pee. There is a mouth. What?
Don't fill her up. Come on. All right.
Made in China.
You know what KY jelly stands for? Kamala, yes.
Oh. Hey, bring up Mr. Kahana here. Let's see what he has. I know I pronounced it.
You heard? He survived. My thoughts with him, his family, in such a dramatic event. Also want to express condolences to
It's not happy.
comfort for family and recognize his living his others' lives, victims of that awful event. Now,
That's
record,
tough questions.
would you agree that this is the most serious security lapse? President Reagan was shot for litigation. Conservative.
This is a show. She already said this.
And you know what Stuart Knight did, and he was in charge at the time. Did afterwards
Step down.
He remained on duty.
he resigned. And Stuart Knight was
Swing and a miss.
a Democratic appointee or Republican. I'm not questioning, and I just don't think it's partisan. If you have an assassination attempt, president, or you need to resign. Stuart Knight did. He was a Republican appointee, and he took responsibility. I think you need to resign. This is a question of the American people. You cannot go be Secret Service
Yeah. Nobody has any
agency
confidence in her
when
anymore.
there is an assassination attempt on a presidential candidate. I would say that about anyone.
I don't know, Josh, do you agree if there's an attempt at all?
I guess
Or is it just if you had
Well, he did
gross negligence?
He specified though. He said he first asked her, "Do you believe that this is the biggest the biggest lapse in security?"
Okay, so you're saying he's building off of that.
Yeah, he's building on the fact that this is a lapse in security. That's a failure. It's a big failure. Not because there was an attempt,
Yeah.
because there could be an attempt where there wasn't necessarily a huge failure in security. It's semantics. And that's
Whoops.
I don't know. Why would this person not
Yeah,
step down? There is no safe border. I was hoping that Democrats would ask that.
there's
question
fear.
like this.
There's fears. There's got to be some kind of fear of her stepping down. Something will come. She'll be charged. That she will protect herself.
Okay,
There's some kind of.
yeah,
I think there's some
right.
kind of fear. Definitely not pride. If it's pride, then good lord, I thought that was a man's thing.
Yeah, I know. So,
Yeah.
he looks like he's teeing something up.
Harris, likely to be the Democrat. Going to be speaking at
Kamala,
The current vice president, soon to be president, Sweet.
Season, Kayla Tauschi's on. You're there on this. Kayla, tell us what to expect.
Well, this is a crucial event for the Vice President since President Biden withdrew and former her for the top.
I'll tell you what they don't expect. Biden to make an appearance.
No.
And others.
It's like a funeral.
And so, for those of you who missed it, who will be tuning in, we went through the top line cheats. Al Gore in Florida. Yeah, what happened in Pennsylvania, of course, changing the electoral laws. You had the Hunter Biden laptop story, and you had the rigging of the primaries against Bernie Sanders, super delegates. You had Hillary Clinton getting a glorified timeshare for a couple of months before she got a Senate seat because they wanted to coordinate her as a presidential candidate. This is not the first time they pulled this crap. They don't care about you in order to preserve the party. They have to usurp the will of you, the American. That's what it is.
By the way, I just need to fact check that. Good job, research. Ro Khanna just said that the Knight resigned the Secret Service after the Reagan assassination attempt. It was 8 months later.
Ooh, that's quite a time.
That's not exactly something you can link together. 8 months later.
Wait, were you talking about that when I was gone?
Yeah, basically was questioning Cheadle, saying, hey, and Democrats were pressing Cheadle as well, which is good. But it's basically saying that, what happened? And she answered, and he answered at the same time. She goes, he stayed on, and Ro Khanna goes, he resigned. But actually, she was right. You just made her look more confident than she's looked in months.
Yeah, it's not good.
Again, research added that he didn't even indicate that he resigned because of it.
Right. So, I don't find something in
when trying to do the right things, Democrats. Come on, Ro Khanna.
It was Ro Khanna?
Ro Khanna.
Ro Khanna! Alright. Cool. Yeah, he's got a cool name. He's douchebag. Funny, when I think about this, remember when Donald Trump was, I remember he was right there on that balcony. He looks like he's breathing very heavily with COVID. And then they had a conspiracy. No one beats COVID that quickly.
I know.
He tested positive, I believe, and 2 days later he was on that balcony. It's like, you mean he's winded going upstairs with COVID? For crying out loud, Biden has COVID right now. He's in a hospital and someone's over his face with a pillow like one flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Third time, by the way, since he's been elected.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to all the vaccinations
And boosters.
I've had COVID a couple of times, or maybe 3 times. One time I tested positive, I had no symptoms.
I think that they're doing with COVID what I used to do in my last job. Hey, I can't. Yeah, I'm not hungover. I have COVID. I can't make it in today or the rest of the week. Actually, no, I'm not. No.
It's oddly specific, Josh.
Yes.
Sorry, Adam.
So is this supposed? Let me just ask research right now. Did they say that she was addressing athletes about to leave after? Is that what she was talking about?
So they're going to wait. Kamala's going to address
Yeah,
something?
this was a planned speech. I don't believe that this is specifically in response to being.
Well, she's going to have. Hopefully, she adapted it. The most awkward thing would be if she just came out and discussed the Olympics.
Oh, and NCAA Sports Day at the White House.
Okay.
Did you see her?
If she just comes out and talks about the NCAA and doesn't mention at all that she's been endorsed for president of the United States by primary members of her party, that would be hilarious.
Yes, that's what she's definitely going to do that. By the way, did you think it was all the Biden announced?
Was it?
Oh man, that's great. Why is no one been talking about
He's
this?
got stuff to do, my friend.
It was National Ice Cream Day, and he's like, "That's it. That's the final straw."
Hey, by the way, and let me know if we have let me know if we have that for the election because we may want to run that so people know what we're going to do for the election. Is Cold Stone Creamery still a thing?
Yes, it is.
But it's in like the touristy, crappy area.
Not as good anymore because there's like other places that do that.
But do it with good ice cream.
Yeah, like Marble Slab does it.
Is it
I've
good?
never been. I've never been, but it's.
We got a Cold Stone here.
Tell you what, my
I
preference
like
is
Cold
the ice cream in the
Stones.
future.
Really tasty
Marble
ice cream.
Dippin' Dots.
Dippin' Dots.
Oh, dude, I used to work at Dippin' Dots.
I know you told us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fired after one day, but it was a glorious day.
Was it one day?
Yeah, one day they said the lady goes, "Can I get the travel flavor?" And the customers and people like it, we don't like it. It's every flavor of the day. Tried every flavor, and then she had.
Did you eat too much ice cream?
Yes,
Did you try the flavors, or did you take a full serving of each?
I mean, I took a.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's between me and the dots, my friend.
Between you and the Kamala doll, once we all get out of here.
By the way,
we have active cameras in this studio even when we're not filming. So anyone who thinks of any funny business with this doll, we are keeping it here throughout the election, and I want it in mint condition, or slightly used.
And you'll tweet that video.
Slightly.
You make that public?
Yeah, well, slightly used. Mint means like giving broken book. Fine, right? We had to place it in the open. We had to do it for accuracy.
They open themselves.
They really do.
Yeah.
You say open set,
That's
across the set.
It's like the tents in Congo. You just open a Kamala doll and
Same kind of way. I'm not going to do this. I pull my groin, you son of a bitch.
Don't worry, we're always recording. We get that footage.
That's true. We do. We have all the ISOs filming. So no one with the doll. Okay?
again.
What if it's like
Let's see here.
it's
Heavy petting is fine. I expect heavy petting. I know the office in which I work.
None of this is.
It's
when I come in, I take a video of the doll. Like it's like an 8-minute video, like a 4-minute video of the doll.
Yeah.
I take it away.
Take the video away.
Yeah, the video. I just take a
And the dog
video
goes
and then I
back with
go
a smile on its
and
face.
I do what I want to do with that video.
I don't. Oh yeah, it's fine.
Okay, cool.
That's fine. Yeah, there's nothing. You could borrow the doll for like a little bit of time.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Okay, I was just
so you
I didn't want
can't
to ask for
the
it.
doll.
I was hoping you'd
No.
offer it, and I'd be like, well, like if you're offering.
Look, I get it. It's a
Oh, it
borrow.
doesn't have
It's a
resources.
rental, actually,
Okay.
so we got to return it.
Well, so's Kamala.
Yeah, you beat me too.
That's what
They got to return her back to the penal system.
That's not a big
Slightly
deal.
used.
They call
Not right
her.
now, anyway.
They called her her Bush women's warehouse.
You have plenty of power.
I don't know why I thought it was so cool.
All right. So for people, and again, we're going to go to Kamala here in just a minute. But for people who don't know, ladoscredit.com/. This show you get Apollo, you get guns and gear, you get incredible working. We have a lot going on here before election. You get the money. None of it happens without you. Election night,
Excuse
November
me.
5th, 2024. This is where you go. We are not just going to be talking about the election. We are going to be calling the election, and we are going to have people on the ground in every major city, in every major swing state in the country. We have invested in infrastructure so that there are no more tricks. Nothing happens in darkness. This election, very large undertaking, and God knows how long we will be here. Last time we were here it was 9 hours, and we came back for another 4 or 5. I don't care if we all have to take a nap and someone is just doing a little Senior Wentz's hand puppet. We're going to be continuing the stream until the election is called. You have my word on that, and I know, Tulin, that doesn't mean that you have to be there the whole time. You can just put a camera on me.
I'm gonna kiss in a bucket.
No, you're not going to. You know what they do? You know what they do at Baja races? They have a condom
Catheter.
that goes out their leg. I know because we have a friend, 6'8" giant, and that's what they do. It's like a glove with a tube.
1,000-mile race, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. Something like that. I don't know. I just thought the condom.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about
purposes.
the race.
The first person to finish wins.
Well, that's a big deal. I thought that was the case with marathons. Apparently, it's not.
Is it not?
No, it's not about the destination. We have to let people know. So this is actually what you can expect as we go into this election season. Is something we're very appreciative to those that can happen. Yeah, we need a few more of you, so you can buy mug clubs as gifts, and we're going to see you November 5th. Non-stop. No more tricks. This is the most important.
Stop.
June 2016. YouTube, it's fun. We get to share that with you. This is a little bit different. This is when you hear that voice, you know who it is. It's the funniest man alive. Get to watch these things, and we get to live. Every now and then, you make correction. Especially this is expanding here. Now and November, where things are changing here. This way. For some things that have taken place, we're not here. It's on the ground, and infrastructure here, Ted. People on the ground. Here at the Eric is next.
Now, as Chairman Jim Jordan, Chairman, thank you for your
Still on our way to that shot.
like Donald Trump, President of the United States.
You tried to silence it. They have to silence you. They will be following your lead. And this is, without doubt, the most. Watching live stream of the century, the Rumble on Rumble. If you're watching on Rumble, click that button to join Mug Club. Of course, you get 100% more of this show, Friday show every week. None of it happens without you. Let's go to CNN. Gerald is dropping the kids off.
Didn't then, but now it actually works. You can almost see the bump.
Halle Berry and the Flintstones gained weight.
So I think
She's
she's
gonna walk out like it's homecoming.
I like that one, dropping the kids off at the pool, taking a dump.
Joe Biden saying, that was supposed to be my song.
You know, she's
All right, Mission Control, you guys ready to live fact check? Also, the delegates of Maryland just pledged allegiance to Kamala, right, Noodles?
That's correct. Yes, they apparently sent all 81
Democracy.
delegates. See, that changes. This is luck.
And by the way, chat, show Noodles some love. He really puts in the hours here.
no doubt.
Okay, screw Noodles.
Just kidding. We love you.
That's a strong word.
You missed his.
Did? Yeah.
Where was I?
Right.
So did I. But I made it up to you, Noodles.
You did?
I did make it up to you. Gerald did not. Oh, wow, yeah.
They live on air.
Oh, you're a saint.
Yeah, you didn't.
I'm telling you.
Who's that right there? Is that a jockey? What kind of a house? Is that a, it looks like a jockey helmet. Is that his hair? Where? The guy up front. Oh, that's just his hair. That's a thick head of hair. Good for that guy. He'll never go bald.
That might not be hair.
All right, if you are tuning in right now, let everyone know, Mug Club Army, that on social live fact-checking Kamala's speech. It would be so perfect if she just talks about it.
She somehow will talk about sports, but at the same time, not say a thing about sports.
Basketball
with Michael Jordan.
Basketball.
We have to come together.
People put a ball in a hoop, unburdened by the traveling
Oh, stop it.
that has been.
See her meet.
Oh, here she is. Here she is. Oh, she's standing right next to the glass prompter. It looks like she's missing her shoulder. They just got her off here with this broad. Like apparently, she's being introduced by Storm.
Yeah. We're the rest of the X-Men.
She looks so
Someone do a
happy.
side by side of her and Storm. Thank you.
Pretty close.
She looks so happy.
Yes.
Kamala Harris. She's so. She
Uh,
happened the day when she called him up and said,
Kamala Harris, stay safe.
She's like, what's her name?
It's not just Biden that would have done that too. It's also
If I had to
you.
put one more blow dryer in a tub,
Deep state is that evil, man.
Whole trajectories going to be strange, but if we think about it, my president in section.
it looks like a Blake Lively royal dress.
I know she was a fan of Dennis
Stay
Rodman.
safe.
So happy. So, whoa. Did that guy just say we tried to identify her with the border? No, we didn't. She's the border czar.
He is the border czar. She is the border czar. Like, vice presidents, honestly, their role is largely ceremonial. It's symbolic. They're kind of given one pet project, and hers was the border.
I'm like 99% sure, right? She's the border czar, right?
Yeah, it's
I didn't just
yeah,
read
it's like you can't really blame the vice president. They don't really have any power aside from their one project. Oh, she did the border? All right, it's going to be a massacre.
Did she build a wall?
Figuratively, and by the way, we have the top 5 lies they told about Donald Trump tomorrow when they tried to misinterpret what he said, including it's going to be a bloodbath, including very fine people on both sides, including fight like hell, because the one thing that I will say, this entire team here, that we do better, and it's not just me, is doing this long enough to know the plate. There are people out there who can do better clickbait, who can do better watch and reacts. There are people out there who can do better TikTok. I understand that. But as far as letting you know where the puck is going, really proud of the work that we do here. And you can just look at the record. This was called. It wasn't just called by Gerald. It was called by Nick DiPaolo. It was called by guests on this show. And everyone was accused of being, I was the one who said, I don't know. I said it was like 60% that I thought it was Biden. I wasn't super confident.
Did she clap? Did she learn how to be a black person from watching The Nutty Professor?
Yes.
That's how she goes. There she goes. There she goes.
There we go. Yeah, everything about her is weird and manufactured.
And angry. Making me angry. Her ethos is seeing people. Her ethos is also required to
See. Unzipping you. Here she goes. Here she goes. Let's hear what she says. And let's be ready to fact check.
Good luck.
It is good to be heard so many ways, including members of Congress, members of our administration. Extraordinary act. Our president is feeling.
now to be dropped down.
Believe me.
Yeah.
But it's better.
Getting back on the road for what?
Joe Biden's legacy of the past 3 years.
Don't know what you're talking about.
One term. He has already, yes.
How about that? One person is going to say that somewhere here in the last couple of weeks they had the lowest border crossing because they.
Please clap. Please applaud.
This came. I went through.
What else
We
is
worked
that?
together. Back then, oh, it all. Talk about the like that. Qualities.
$2022 inflation with a 40-year high. He says Verlander.
Fuck.
Integrity. And
It's plagiarism, which forced him to drop out in 1988.
His integrity, where he lied to the American public about his partner.
That's what he does.
fights the American people.
Can't take fight.
They deeply grateful.
D3, that's the Asians coming out.
Does she have a Star Trek pin on?
No, it's a flag.
I know, I'm kidding. It just looks weird.
This is a weird angle.
And on behalf of our president and
Right.
Dr. He's great at every one of them. A national
Show the dude who beat the women.
in America. Tens of millions.
Here she is. Not saying anything.
Best
Thanks for defining
here
that.
today.
Was not
7
clear.
11 repeat champions and 20 first-time winners.
Do you think she's going to say anything?
I don't know.
No, she never says anything,
Do you
Steven.
think she's going to address just not sports, but do you think she's going to address that the president, she just called him that, dropped out, and that she has been endorsed? Do you think she's, comment below, do you think she's going to? I don't know. She may be dumb enough to not.
As members of Team USA, you are ambassadors. By congratulating you. You bring
You don't.
Why is that funny?
Hey guys, this is why people don't like her. You didn't have to sleep over the top, you're right. And governors.
That is it requires
You got skills.
determination. You all know. And you know. On seat, sports team.
Yeah, just like the Democratic Party that forced out the guy who was elected, allegedly.
Play. hard work. Maybe you're, maybe you are other people define. Your friends, your peers.
Mayors who slack with. What?
So today, again, let us give them a round.
Yeah, a comedian starting the set with let's give it up to the troops.
Yeah, exactly.
Congratulations. And good luck. All that is to come. Wherever you will always be so. Now it is my honor. Welcome to the stage, Gordon Dudley. Ladies,
All right.
Lord, soccer team.
What?
And our welcome to.
Of course you knew it. By the way, you knew it was going to be a woman, right? You knew it was going to be a female athlete.
I knew it was not going to be a white one too.
It was not going to be a white dude. Hey, didn't we trade her for the Merchant of Death? No. Oh, wait.
Wilmington, Delaware. People campaign. This is the first
To officially kill Joe Biden. Yes. No takesies, backsies.
Social media. Tashi is our White House person. It's a sense of what's going on right now. We anticipate hours in the next few days.
Vice President, that she is going to seize the reins of
Good job,
this
Chad.
movement. You just mentioned afternoon to try to rally a troops.
Got a strangely shaped face.
The whole stretch of the year in Harris and her party have become some underdogs, to use a sports metaphor, as the vice president addresses this audience of athletes. She used these remarks to praise the leadership of President and that he notched
Can you
in the
believe
last 3 years.
Yeah, they were on a very short, I'd say leash, but sex choker.
Using some language talking about going and the big team not to sense that.
Here's what you do have to ask. When you see that, you go, okay, that's not normal. Obviously, she would want to seize this opportunity. But you have to ask yourself, who's running, who has been running? Certainly, I know some people try to say, Kamala, it's not. It's the DNC platform, likely Jill, perhaps some combination of Jill, equals whether it's who have not been elected. And those people have the same stranglehold on Kamala. That's why I think she's most likely to be the nominee, because she's been, bought. She's been paid for. Now, we know that was the one kind of saving grace for Biden. The Democratic Party said, well, he'll do whatever we ask him to do. That's why, I do think that Biden probably at one point was more moderate, just because I don't think that Biden has any principles whatsoever, and then he governed as a radical leftist. The platform wants someone like Kamala to be there because they can be installed. And right now they say she's kind of an underdog. She's kind of an underdog in this last home stretch. No. Not kind of an underdog. She's been foisted upon the American public. By the way, through no fault of their own. You know what no one has ever said? Oh, we need Kamala. No one. No one wanted Kamala in the primaries. No one wants her now. They are going to try and force her upon you.
I haven't even seen her husband around.
I can't imagine that he wants to be. He's like
That's what I'm saying. Nobody wants her.
he's like the political version of Stedman.
This is weird. I'm sorry. I'm left kind of speechless that she didn't do anything to kind of put her like.
Well, that's what you can expect on the Kamala Harris presidency.
No, I know. I mean, and look,
She didn't do anything? Like the border?
Yeah. No, I
think she
understand.
did. I think she did. Said, president for all he's done. That was her going like, I'm part of it. No, it's also me. I help with this stuff.
I get it, and I understand it's an
Without
event
saying
for
it.
athletes and
I'm part of
champions.
it.
I mean, it was 2 minutes of a speech. Look, you got to understand that this is all it's politics, right? And so she didn't say. I don't believe she said. Now we have to go and unite and beat Donald Trump. She didn't say anything, even if she didn't kick off her own campaign necessarily right there. She didn't say anything that means that she was kind of leaning into the fight. Donald Trump, within, I think it was 30 minutes or an hour, released a video, an ad about her. He was ready to go.
Oh, she has things to do. She has some rice and pudding she has to get to Delaware promptly.
Plus, it is about the athletes.
It is, but she took the first part to thank Joe Biden for his record and everything else. So she did make it about something other than the athletes, and she didn't even throw a line in there. Like,
she hasn't been told how to campaign yet. That's the issue. She doesn't know what she's been thrust into this. This is not just her choice, right? Colin, you don't become a nominee through no actual electoral process or receive the endorsement she has through your own choice alone. So now she needs to wait for those people to tell her this is how you're going to campaign. We know the American people don't want you, they don't want Biden. We're going to make sure that their vote doesn't count somehow, and we need to figure out how we frame this so that we can forcefully thrust you on the American public. Let me tell you this. Let me just change a couple of things. Okay? That bullet is 1 inch. 1 inch to the right, to the left. Yeah, 1 inch to the right. Donald Trump is dead. Okay? This week what we had a man avoid assassination. The people's president, Donald Trump, avoided assassination, and then we had the other candidate drop out. Change one thing. If that bullet hits, he drops out and it's Kamala. Guarantee you. When people say how, guarantee you that would be violent civil unrest. Yeah. Those two things, one of those two things being different, that Donald Trump, thank God, was not killed, has saved us from that. If those two happen in tandem, yeah, you would have violence in the streets. You really would. Because it is so clear that there is a subversion of democracy. It is so clear that they're trying to eliminate the voice of not just a small percentage, but at least half of the American voting public by any means necessary. That's why I tell you, my God, if you think that you're about to take a victory lap, this is going to get ugly. This is going to get dirty. I told you on debate night, and between now and election, just laid out how they've cheated. It's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse. And you have someone here who has a reputation for cheating and for moving up the political ladder by any means necessary, including wading into the pool of STDs with no regard for her own safety or self-respect. That's the person at this point who they've decided is going to be installed into office. That is a scary thought. That is un-American. People say this a lot. People into office. That is a scary thought. That is un-American. People say this a lot. Who they've decided is going to be installed into office. That is a scary thought. That is un-American. People say this a lot. They elect the candidate of their party and then have the party say,
what is going on here?
yeah, we're not going to do that anyway. There is nothing democratic. There is nothing American about what is happening right now. And that's the choice. That really is the choice. The choice is the United States of America. And even if you don't like Donald Trump, he's at least gone through. It's kind of ironic at this point that they said he tried to overturn our election. It's that Donald Trump tried to do away with our institutions. And he is the one who has made it through the lasting institutions. He's done it the proper way. And in order to beat the guy who was elected by you through the primary process, in order to beat him, they're doing away with all traditions and norms in order to ensure that your vote doesn't matter. It's a scary thought. It's wrong. And it's un-American. And that's why I think you're seeing some changes. We're going to go to Mark right here because you're seeing some changes in people who actually would surprise you. Like Mark Zuckerberg, not just some positive things to say about Donald Trump.
All right, watching some Timcast.
And he shouldn't have. Fascinating. Just to get here. We pay salaries. And agency. Real estate. Age. We do salaries. And he posts this thing in the video where I said, you're in your company, teaching, whatever it is. some people so dealing with the which is still constructed and YouTube and Instagram. Not about skate, bringing entertainment. Active scourge, it's cancer. So let's go back to the original. Do these people influence physically times that how you play? There's a reason why, and one reason. And behavior. Have a nice day. The DIY official order. He offered $20 to people. They said, oh, it'll visit. I said, okay, then I won't. Immediately, I get hit up like parents. This media is a comment. Parents in LA destroyed her here. Not the same. Buy a property. Basically, I don't own it. I'll buy it. If it's not destroyed, we're going to put $500,000. They told me that. They ended up trying. Check out. Haters are devoted. And this has been. I'll tell you what happened. We're gonna shut down. Keep doing what we do. I got bad news for you. One thing that matters. That people. So this guy gifted hate. Makes a video. It's 100. That's the scourge. I make money. I'm at that point that I tried this call. Breaking the barriers, right? That is something major athlete. And they only get a 3-year deal.
Yeah, that's a lot of traffic coming
They made about $1
in.
million.
Traffic.
Salary,
Traffic.
and they've been able to. Where they could make. Whereas, that's the goal, right? To set yourself up. Estimates. Basically, set. Next person. Retirement. That's savings. I think most people estimate. And that is retirement, but me. I've got enough money to save Disney 10 years ago. That
And now
I
they
can
work for
invest in
Disney.
things and run and make sure they save. I don't need to make a video. I don't need to buy a skateboard. What a ridiculous crap. That. The other thing because the truth is, I am talking people with, and they're saying, need to get skating. Response to this guy's video, I feel like actually, because if kids don't pick this up, not family friendly, not welcoming, it really. Immigrants are real. Be a baseball. There's got to be an industry. Awesome.
Excuse me.
Here's the point. Someone tried to sell. I was looking. And it was. Particularly a stupid comment. So, did anyone actually? About how we're going to ran away. That's what happened later.
and then maintain the particularly guys, they don't live here. They don't live in. People build skate shop. And you got DIY. Same.
Yeah, that's
for
big building.
Expand it. After you. Here. Is fix it and clean and maintain. Now they're planning that we're going to do ETC. They don't. I don't think they have taters. I don't think they have anything. This is components of making it. How are they what? It's just fun. Final fun. An operation. They are threat, expansion, beautiful part. There, then you're making the argument. Stand point, operate to, and build a part. At Vegas. YG. Look at the people. Yes, what we've done is better and better.
Yeah, most of the time, people who are the dregs of society want to be the dregs of society. Why?
That's their problem.
They don't want to try hard. They don't believe in themselves. They want to be lazy.
I'm taking action where I make music because I get involved in skateboarding and try
And most of the time, not all the time.
basketball. Seek to earn yours. Make sure that you're growing. I'll use the skate parks. Biggest brands, Barrett's and Hope the Barrett's turn. This destroyed the skate park. Barrett's. Not to get the haters who insult skate, and that's what they're there. It won't go broke, my. Yes, I will be ammo rigging. We will now go skate. And hope you're hanging out live. Thanks for hanging out. You know, and maybe no one really cares about a story. It's not big news. I decided to do 2 reasons. It's the culture. And I am on the front line of it. I want to stress got homies. Okay. Got people coming up and saying thank you for the tools. I'll make this play. Skating your there. There are people at me catching on. How this part is it clearly with their argument. Search trying to click down. There. Not me personally. Talking to someone. They asked if this and I said let me know. And I covered them. Get in here. They're just lying. we want to personally. That means binge, gifted, newcomer makes YouTube nothing for the sport. You know, and people did basically the drama. Can't do anything. He can't do anything. People who follow. Skateboarding is race, gender, ethnicity. Nature. He created. Skateboarding is if the Olympics would be Jews attached to this Greek culture. That's what they're. Wrap it up there. Thank you for hanging out for this live show. Take your advice on so skating weeks of it. I'm gonna have to go. Stretches in right now. Odds been. Hey, I gotta pick it up. I gotta pick it up. You know, my keep is. Maybe not. Angela. And, here film. Here for sponsors. It's Fox. Here I am at 30. And, back out of that. But, I haven't been anything great. And where I got to inspire. So, I myself. Skater. Look at an alley hill present. I have to. If I don't, is evil degenerates who destroy the thing I compromise. Eat. Disgusting. Alright, everybody, I'm gonna wrap it up. Hang it out.
Joe Biden. Now, I thought there's no way this was going to happen. Demons give up power, and I could go on and on from people left and the right used to give up power when they shouldn't. And Feinstein. So, camera. Ruth Bader Ginsburg knowingly get on the job that would probably call the party Nancy Pelosi. All these people, the Democrats, that just give up power willingly. They do. Here, my opinion, there are many people that in power, that have enjoyed about 3 years straight of having nobody at home. Right?
babysitters on the couch, boyfriend, you're doing whatever you want. Mom's away, dad's away. Party. That's what basically like it has been, running for the past now. Essentially, not good. They can do whatever they want. So my take on this, like, what exactly did he finally wake up, and then people that were him, did he start to push back against them? Because we know how wouldn't they want Joe Biden there? That's what actually scares me. Like, the deep state, those in power, those real power, want to me that they would give up Joe Biden. Because I think that, like, they've been doing whatever they want. Well, Biden puts us out, my
Dun 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 go. Dun
over
dun
the
dun.
past 3.5 years, we've made
Dun dun
nations in
dun
America
go.
the strongest economy in the world. Investments.
Dun dun dun. Dun 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 do.
We provided critically needed care to veterans and that's safety crap, blah blah blah. I know none of this could have been done without people to get the problem. I'll speak to the nation. Vision. Express my deepest gratitude. All those folks are to see. I thank Vice President for being an extraordinary partner and all. She let me express heartfelt appreciation to her. Today, two together. Biden. I don't even know if he knew he signed this. I don't even know if he signed this. Like, I don't.
Doubtful.
Okay, you see, is Joe Biden. Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. Since then, he hasn't debate. He's now acting like he wants to debate me again. Make my day, pal. Why did Joe Biden really? Well, I think the picture is pretty clear. This way, they tried to destroy his career. They've been trying to do that. 8 years? Okay, that's it. Then they try to put him for his freedom. That's it. Then somebody like take it from him. That's it. Any one of those things going, hey, Joe Biden is stuff. Let me know. Then the big kind of nail in the coffin happened with the new Michigan. That's the real reason, I think. That's the real thing. That the powers that be set up get crushed. See, Barack Obama does not endorse Harris. You see, Trump more doubles Biden in battleground state. Trump notched a 49-40 Biden 2 race and a battle came up at 43%, 46 in RFK, Green Party, and lose West at each 2%, both 9% of undecided. There's literally not enough undecided voters to make up that gap. You know, I think like many people do. Last Saturday was Joe Biden's last chance to stay. I know. I'm just saying I think it. I'm just saying I think it. I'm not saying I did. I'm not saying evidence of it. I'm just saying that's what I think. Then after yesterday's Michigan rally, new polling numbers. Basically, my inside heart think that powers that be looked and said, this is only going to get worse. Biden's only going to, things are only going to, everyone involved. Trump's going to wind his feet. And they also looked at some, that Kamala was stabilized. I think that really came from the amount of people that had accepted the fact that Biden was never going to make it the election, or never Trump. That's why this was the final nail in Joe Biden's spot. Michigan. Polls are relatively, because they simply grow. Obviously, Kamala Harris still has way behind Trump. He's actually likable Biden. They just can't get rid of him. They can't push aside a black woman. Just no. Ultimately, have a situation now. They've got to just Kamala. That's who they have. That's what they have. That's what they deal with. They're gonna have. There's no other really no other real viable option that's first of all any better. Okay? Any better for the Democrats. I'd like to hear anybody better option. Yeah, we know that Kamala Harris is actually probably worse than but I think somebody looked at powers that they looked at it and said, this is only going to get. I mean, you can generally look at polls on their below. You just do this. You can say anything about it. In general, it's bad. Trump always seems to. They say Trump's down 2, he's probably a 5, a 8. And that's ultimately, so they looked at it, they're like, up 7 in Michigan, which means he's probably up 10 in Michigan. He's up 10 in Michigan. And what you think there's, end up with a situation now. I think this means that they're going to try to have to sue to get this ballot rule changed and get Kamala Harris on the ballot. If they give up Wisconsin, that's another battleground state. I think to lose anyway. Then you have Barack Obama does not. Kamala Harris says Democrats will quote pick an outstanding nominee. Who? Literally who? They're gonna run.
This is going to be Kamala Harris with Michelle Obama as the VP.
Ordinary party will be able to create a process. Well, you have to do something at. I don't think they can even wait. I don't think they can even wait till the DNC. There's only 105 days left before the election. 105, just over 3 months. What about the, how many, 12, 14? Do you think that they're automatically to... Yeah. There absolutely are some. And we see Hillary Clinton. President Biden has capped his extraordinary career of service for the presidency. I believe the coup thing, it's my opinion. I think it's my opinion that the coup tale also belongs. I don't believe anything. They say we've lived through many ups and downs. They end this. President endorsing Vice President Harris and whatever we can do to so Bill and Hillary Clinton
Hillary.
into Kamala Harris. I don't know who Kamala could pick. She's got to pick a VP that's less. Kamala issues a statement. She will earn and win the Democratic nomination. Well, that's like being absolutely no way. You're not running Kamala Harris Hillary. That's not happening. Hillary Clinton will never run it. I think there's enough people that still remember Hillary Clinton. Consider it. They go into like
with everything happening in pop culture, which brainwashes the general public, it's probably going to be Michelle Obama as the VP.
Imagine being Dan Jones, right thing for this country. Everybody keeps talking about it. Like, you had to step down. Yeah, but for who? Nobody can tell me who.
Whom?
And apparently, I know that the Democratic National.
Who the fuck cares anymore? I'm just watching this so that I'm aware. I can't do anything about it. Vote doesn't count. I'll give it a try. I'm probably going to vote in this next election, but
I mean, there is all sorts of.
I know it's not above the Dems now to steal my vote.
Paid $100 million to Joe Biden and the potato and the now they give it's impeccable. You'd be right, but he's at least awake. Going to be seeing what's going on. I think it's going to be Pamela Booty Juice. Even more hilarious.
That's a possibility.
Maybe the worst. This whole thing's going to be absolutely.
Pamela and Booty Wave. It's a booty tsunami. Get up on your knees and call me your mommy. Booty Wave. Booty. Booty Wave. Stop, Chiron.
3 days left. Shelters. I have to thank you. You all did a big win every day for everyone that showed up to actually meet me. I am so exhausted. I've been working so hard. The entire Animal Friends hard. Inspired. Shake hands with so many of you, reading so many of your comments, seeing all the cares. We are saving pets together. We're actually on pace to empty the entire shelter. Actually achieve this, and I believe we can. 3 days left to get your limited edition Cool Bean shirt. After that,
alrighty, guys.
And it's thanks to covering
Well, that is going to be it for today. As always, it's been real. It's been fun.
Discounts on the Cool Bean merch or
it's been real fun.
Including the new.
See you all tomorrow.
Remember, when you drink,
Deuces. Don't forget to like and subscribe.